just talking about some of the key players for Penn State, and we highlighted the tight ends. And Theo, you had a tremendous game on Saturday against Minnesota. Congratulations, finding the end zone. How did it feel as the tight ends really helped the passing game get going?
It feels really good just because I feel like we've always had a lot of value to add to the team. And on that type of stage, it just felt really good to be able to help the offense win a game like that.
What was it like scoring a touchdown in that environment with the crowd going crazy?
It was a surreal moment. I just looked up and I just immediately just felt blessed to, just to have that opportunity on that stage. It was a great feeling.
Now, we talk about your tight ends, and obviously the passing game, the numbers, that's what really finds people in the box score. They can notice that. But I know run blocking and pass protection is also a key part of the game, especially because your tight ends coach is an offensive line letterman from Penn State. How much pride do you take in those elements as well?
I think since I was a freshman and I came in, my coach told me, the way you're going to get on the field is to be a great pass run blocker. So I kind of bought in on that as soon as I walked in the door, and it hasn't changed ever since. And, Ty really focuses on that and makes sure that we're bought into that. And I think we all do a really great job of being elite players at all three phases, run blocking, pass blocking, and route running.
Let's take it the next part, too. You had 4 different players catch a touchdown pass. You have great distribution from Sean, getting the tight ends, wide receivers, and running backs involved, and the running game. When the offense is balanced like that in all facets, how effective can you be offensively?
It's kind of scary because, when we can all complement each other and kind of feed off of each other, it's hard to stop because, you key one guy and we're running the ball and then you're passing it to different guys. It's really scary because we have so many threats from so many different areas of the field that, kind of just showed part of the ceiling that our offense can reach.
Taking a look at some of the highlights here, that environment was so important. How important can the crowd be again this Saturday?
Huge. I think it's going to be huge. You've seen all the offside penalties that we had this week. The penalties really add up, and it's really a huge help for us. And I think that, getting the fans out there at early 12 o'clock kick is going to be huge for us this week.
We've had the opportunity to learn a lot about you and your family here over the last couple of months. You have 5 brothers. What was that like growing up in the household?
It wasn't always easy. It was kind of, we're always on top of each other, never really had a lot of space to yourself. But I think looking back at it, I'm very grateful for that experience. I'm really close with all my family now, and I think it's made me the person that I am today.
Who's the first person to text you after the games?
It's usually always my mom, but, she was there this week, so she was the first person I seen. My brother Dom usually texts me or calls me as soon as I get to the locker room. So it's usually my family members are always kind of pouring into me after games, especially games like this week.
Back home in Canada, how many people are now Nittany Lion fans?
It's a whole bunch of them. There's a lot of people back at home that are texting me saying, hey, I just got your jersey and, just watched the game, great game and stuff like that. And it feels good to know that I have that support system back home in Windsor.
So have they put away the ice skates now and started to pick up a football to throw around?
In my city, it's always kind of been a little bit of a football town, but I think, the skates are coming out now. It's getting a little bit more into winter, but, for football season, they're big fans.
What's special about the little Canadian pipeline that you have going on here at Penn State?
I think it's big because I think that, Canada is a little bit of an untapped resource when it comes to football players. A lot of teams don't necessarily recruit in Canada. A lot of kids are kind of forced to come down to prep schools and stuff like that. So I think that, it's good to have our coaches, paying a little bit more attention to Canadian athletes because I think that, like I said, it's an untapped resource, and there's a lot of talent up there that's just not being discovered.
Let's shift gears back to Ohio State here. We're not giving anything away X's and O's, but what are some of the things that are being emphasized this week as you go into the matchup with the Buckeyes?
I think it's just not beating ourselves is one of the big things. They have a great defense and a great offense, and, just doing your job and not trying to do too much. Because, when you try and do too much, that's when you kind of run into some issues. So the big thing was kind of being preached to us is just doing your job and just not letting the little mistakes add up and not being ourselves.
And the last one, I know third downs are so important. How important, though, are first and second downs as well to make sure that third down situation is manageable so you can have that same success rate that you had against Minnesota?
Yeah. First downs are huge. You want to have a good first down, and then second down, you're looking to get half of whatever is left, and then that will kind of set you up for third down. So if you can kind of stay on that track and that trajectory each down, it sets up a good third down, and you're in good territory. But if you don't do too well on first down, then it kind of makes second and third down a little tough. So our goal is really to do well on first down, get half on second, and then have a manageable third down situation.
I lied. There's one more question for you. What does it mean having the experience and maturity of Sean back there as your quarterback in a game, especially like this coming up on Saturday?
It's huge. All of our guys on offense really respect him. Have a lot of admiration for his leadership and just his grit. He's always going to find a way, whether he's hurting or what. He just never gives up. He's always a fighter. So I think everybody on our team, especially offense, rallies around him and really respects the type of person and the player he is.
He's one tough guy back there.
Yeah,
Theo, have a great game this week. Thanks so much. Good luck.